Okay, it's Bob Frizzell for the reality game, and I'm in the dark. Sorry. Let's continue my talks about getting involved with maybe going somewhere. Like, not on a trip, but maybe going into a book to really study. What do you want to study in a book? I would study something to do with extraterrestrials and not Earth history, because I don't know if you can get really good Earth history. I think most of the stuff we've been given is contaminated. So where are you going to get good Earth history? Maybe if you just channel. In other words, pick up your phone like I do and start talking about extraterrestrials and Earth history and see what you get. What I get when I'm talking about extraterrestrials and Earth history is getting involved with me and extraterrestrials, so I can have a one-on-one. Do you know any extraterrestrials? I don't, and they don't seem to be wanting to show up in my physical environment. So that seems to be a strike against it, other than channeling, and I'm not connected to anyone right now. But if I was, I would ask them questions like, what do you know about Earth history? What do you know about what's really going on planet Earth? What's going on with control structures on planet Earth? And is there a plan, because I've heard that there's a plan, to free Earth from the mess it's in? The next thing I'm going to talk about is how are you going to get involved with getting information other than through channeling from other people and books and just, wandering around. Most likely you're going to have to talk to other people, and if they're not extraterrestrials, then you're going to need some interesting people, and you never really know who's going to be interesting and who's not. So you really have to be available. What does that mean? Basically feel it out with your spidey senses that I talked about before, and I don't know, hit and miss, really. What do you want to talk about? I want to talk about extraterrestrials, Earth history, and how to get out of the mess that we're in. What's the mess? The mess everyone knows is great poverty among the masses of people, and the great amount of power held by a very small group that dominates planet Earth. Those would be where I would start. And if people have other things like how to heal, because there's so many people that need healing and they don't know how to get healing, and they go to the doctors and it's just a runaround game for most people, and then they get hooked on drugs like opiates and it makes things even worse. So generally that's what we're looking for: healers and people who have information to help move us along. This is also known as synchronistic growth, because synchronicity will bring the right people to you. How do you know? It's just the way it is. Trust me on this one. Or you could try reading the Celestine Prophecy series of books by James Redfield, which are very good, talking about how you get synchronistic growth. And the main thing he's going to tell you is you have to set up prayer fields to do this. So there are what are known as Dakini, which are some other kind of beings. He doesn't talk about angels, but he goes with Dakini, which is maybe an Eastern idea, but he empowers the Dakini to help, and he puts up prayer fields to meet these kind of people that I'm describing. And you want to do this every day. First thing, before you even get out of bed, you want to empower the Dakini, and they will back away from you if you are not in integrity. In other words, if you are starting to use the same things that the abusive power people use, you are not going to get help from the Dakini. So make sure it's for the betterment of all people. Anyway, the Celestine Prophecy has got fantastic information, and I highly, highly, highly recommend you to get into those books more than anything else right now.